Okay, so here we go. What is the deal with pimps in the strip club? I'm really starting to get confused. Life has thrown me a loop, so I've had to get off the bench and handle my business. But the game done changed for these last 7 years I've been out the game. It done changed, and I'm trying to understand this whole pimp logic shit in the strip club, and I'm just trying to figure out how does this work. And I'm really, really confused when I see like 19-year-old pimps and 20-year-old pimps. Like, dude, you're fucking 20 years old. Like, you can't even legally drink. Like, how are you pimping somebody? Like, shouldn't it be some type of criteria to pimp? Like, shouldn't you be 40 or 45? Like, shouldn't you have some type of life experience and actually have, like, been through some shit before you can just decide that, oh, I'm going to be a pimp. This is what I'm going to do. Like, shouldn't you fail at some shit first? You're just gonna go be a pimp and at 19, 20, you're telling the bitch what to do. Like, where did you find this bitch? Is this your high school sweetheart? Did shit really go bad? Like, is it not what it really is? Like, what's going on? Why are these bitches giving these niggas their money? And these hoes come in there with their hair not done. They come in there with boils on their ass and Band-Aids everywhere. And just a footnote, if you see a bitch in the strip club with a Band-Aid anywhere, the nasty bitch got a boil. Stay your nasty ass home, bitch, because you're spreading that shit, and I'm getting tired of that. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Dial soap, bitch. We'll clear all that. We'll take a fucking bath when you get off. But back to anything else. I need to know who the fuck told these pimps that they run the shit. And then they're like weird pimps. Like pimps and the barbecue man. Or like pimps and the DJ. And fucking pimps and the bartender. Like, bitch, pick one. I never knew a pimp that had more than one job. Like, what's Bishop Don Juan? I don't think he was like a teller at the daytime or a truck driver in the daytime and a pimp at night. No, the nigga was just a motherfucking pimp. So I'm trying to figure out who told these niggas that they are really pimps, because they not. And they're pissing me off. And anytime I could check a pimp, you're not a real pimp. And don't be coming to me or to my customers trying to bomb a motherfucking cigarette. You a pimp. Your bitch can't get you a cigarette. And I seen some shit the other night that fucked me up so bad that it just I damn near was in tears, because I'm not hardcore like that, and I just don't see shit like that. And I was getting ready to go on stage, and it was like a little corner where the girl and the pimp was back there, and it really wasn't nobody in the club, and she's a hoe, so she had hustled her way around that motherfucking club like 6 times, and so, you know, you can't drain no money if it ain't no money in there. It was only like 10 customers. It was like 15 bitches. So, I mean, it was just hard. But, you know, if it's hard for you or whatever. So, I guess he was saying, you know, she hadn't made enough money. And I guess they do like checks or whatever, because these new pimps, they stay at the club. They don't leave. They stay at the club and watch they bitches and stalk they bitches and ask them every hour how much they making. Like, the bitch can't even work in peace. She can't even do what she need to do because he's always in her motherfucking business. But he slapped her so hard. He was like, bitch, you only got $400. And now, mind you, this girl has only been to work probably 2 hours. So $400 is really good. But I guess it was the first of the month and they was on a quota. I don't know. They do live in a room. So I don't know how much money he needed for the night. But I guess that wasn't enough. And he slapped this bitch so motherfucking hard that I was just like, I had chills. Like, I was just fucked up for the first song that I had to dance on stage, because it was just too much. I was just like, damn. And I watched this bitch like stop and sit there and like swallow whatever fucking pain she had, and then like shook that shit off, walked from down there and went straight to a customer. And I was like, that's some gangster ass shit. Like, bitch, there is no way. Like, bitch, you can't just to suck it up like that. And so the bitch, while I was on the stage or whatever, the bitch was doing more dances. She got like 2 more dances. So I did my little 4 songs on stage. I go off. I go back to the dressing room. This nigga comes back to the dressing room, and I fought the club for that because they should have more control than that. But like I said, Pimps is the managers, Pimps is the bartenders, it's Pimp Nation in that motherfucker. So the man comes back there. He was like, bitch, all you got was $40. And I was like, damn, the bitch made $40 in 10 minutes. Like, what's the problem? And he was like, bitch, all you got is $40. And he just like punched her. And she punched her so hard that she like fell on the floor. And that bitch just like looked, and she got up, and them tears came down, and I swear, like, for like 2 minutes, the tears dropped, and then they stopped. And that bitch just, like, sucked that shit up. And see, this is what the part is that's fucked up. Bitch, I can't even grieve. Like, bitch, I can't even cry. Like, you already fucking me up, embarrassing me in front of people. You whooping my ass. Bitch, I can't even grieve. See, that's why I can't have a pimp. Because, first of all, my feet hurt at the end of the motherfucking night, nigga. And I don't need no help, bitch, to do nothing after my feet hurt. And for a motherfucker to hit me, and bitch, he don't even give you a second to get yourself together. Like, bitch, you can't even grieve. You can't even, like, this is some deep shit. Like, you can't even cry and let that shit out and release that shit. You have to suck that shit up and go back on the floor like this nigga ain't just punched the motherfucking shit out of you. Like, bitch, like you just didn't fly across the motherfucking floor. Like, it's fucked up. It's fucked up, and this shit is getting out of control, and it's unnecessary. These niggas that's pimping nowadays, they not really about their life. Half of them be giving me their motherfucking number and tipping me. How are you a pimp and you tipping me? Because you know I'm not that bitch. So for you to tip your bitch money that she just made and gave you, and you gonna turn around and tip me, like, that's some deep, sick, psycho shit. And I would have to cut a nigga in his sleep because that's too much for my spirit. And niggas be playing too much. But one thing I tell you, a nigga can only do what you let him do. I don't know where these weak-minded assholes is coming from, but bitches, if you out here and you watching this, you do not need his motherfucking help. Half of you hoes stay in rooms. If you gonna get pimped, bitch, get real pimped. Like if you gonna do it, like, make sure that nigga got you in a car and your own shit, and y'all got an understanding or something. I don't know any type of logic that will make pimping right. But I don't understand how you can work 10 hours a night in stilettos and your feet and your knees and all that be hurting. If a bitch tell you she don't be in pain, that shit is hard on your body. And you turn around and you give this shit to a nigga and he beats you because you only made $1,500 instead of $2,000. And this motherfucker ain't did shit but watched you all night and tipped your motherfucking money. If you think that shit is okay, then you're a retarded bitch and you deserve to be pimped. There is nothing that a nigga can do for you that you can't do for yourself. And I just don't understand how you can be the pick of the motherfucking litter at the club and all these niggas just be swarming you and adoring you. And then meanwhile back at the ranch you getting your ass whooped. Like, it got to be something that triggers your mind to say, okay, I got all these niggas on my pussy at this club. Everybody want to be my man. Everybody want to fuck with me. And then when I get off work, I got a nigga that I got to give all this money to from the same niggas that just adored me. I'm giving their money to this nigga to beat my ass, to live in a room,